We started as a sparkle in our mother's eye, expanding from the center in the spiral of pi. A Fibonacci series, the phi of I. You put it all together, you gotta ask why. The who and the how, the why of me. This is our personal mythology. The who and the how, the why of me. This is our personal geography. Hey, 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 yeah, hey, yeah. Hey, yeah, yeah, hey, hey, yeah, yeah, hey. Poetic in purpose, with healing intent. This is why our journey feels heaven sent. We're made of water and living light. We're all made of a billion stars you feel at night. We are the puzzle, we are the bits, grasp the whole and every piece fits. The miracle of you, the miracle of me, just goes on for eternity. Hey, yeah, hey, hey, yeah, hey, yeah, hey. Hey, yeah, yeah, hey, hey, yeah, yeah, hey. We started as a sparkle in our mother's eye, expanding from the center in the spiral of pi. Fibonacci series, the pop phi of I. You put it all together and you gotta ask why. The who and the how, the why of me. This is our personal mythology. The who and the how, the why of me. This is our personal geography. Just dropping into those inner landscapes of our being, those seasons of the heart, the wondrousness everything that's just going on right now in us, just like feeling this personal mythos, all the cultural ideas, all the feelings, all the emotions, the oxygen coming in, your stomach gurgling, your brain firing off thoughts, just finding that beautiful midline. We can sort of be aware of the sensations that are happening behind the neurotalk and sort of the tense brain. So we just want to like, relax brain. And just float. Beautiful ocean of consciousness. Acquiesce to the aqueousness, right? This watery vehicle that we are. We come out of this watery womb. We're just filled with this gratitude that is water. So when we're together like this, we can sort of co-align, right? Use each other's presence to focus deeper on the inside-out software. Into the Kurma chakra, right? Just above your heart is this little tortoise, aquamarine, beautiful safety zone in the heart, just above the heart, just nesting there. Kurma chakra, right? Breathing into it. Beauteous oxygen. Noticing the 5 vital airs that are operating. Right, we have apana, and we have prana coming in and apana going out. Right, there's a power that excretes things, that releases us from the carbon dioxide and the toxins. We're just breathing in the prana, fresh prana to the brain, through the nose. All the way down to the toes. Beautiful repose. Smell like a rose. Feeling good. And so it goes. What's that? Flow is a great state where everything's firing off just right. Right? It's very musical. You are inherently that, right? Inherently the music itself. We're also the stories we tell. So we don't want to get too tangled up in those, the cultural stories, personal stories, our self-torturing stories, other people's thoughts about us, what we think about that stories, the endless loop of mental. We're just going to park that. We'll just drop into the zone of the drone. Sort of restores the continuity of consciousness. We tend to be a little discontinuous, right? Like a Netflix show that's been canceled. We've lost our continuity. But not, right? There's a continuous continuity happening. It's just a slightly deeper river. I'm just going to like drop into these inner wondrous rivers flowing through us. Right? There's meridians, invisible rivers of energy. There's the blood flow, the mysterious blood that scientists don't even understand. Right? They know how to deal with it, but what is this wondrous miraculousness? I mean, we're, as Jung would say, we're a 2 million-year-old person, 2 million-year-old self. So we're very much of a mammal with self-reflecting kit, right? Beautiful mirror neurons at the top, cognifying, cognating, right? Integrating, figuring things out. And yet, all of that is built and a 140 million-year-old vertebrate. Basically, at the core of our being is a reptile. So we have to deal with this, right? Reptilian fight-flight kind of tendencies going on. There's that part of us that could get a little cold-blooded, a little sociopathic. If we're not loved enough by mom and dad, then right, we tend to want to control everything, right? Because we don't want to have bad experiences. But if you feel the unconditional love, if parents have been at least good enough to instill that unconditional love, you can just bask in our healthy response to the universe. Just feeling the drone integrating us. And then you can tone to the drone. And then to watch what that does to your consciousness. Otherwise you're going to have chippity-chop thoughts. Right? It's better to like establish the undercurrent to the thinking. So we move into the age of intuition in our body. Right? Speed of light processing. Right? Not super slowed down, draggy particles. Right? Keep it all light and fluffy. And as we know, when we access the vacuum space, out of which time and space emerge, this reality emitting zone, we can just tickle the vacuum a little bit with the spanda, right? With these like desire pulsations. And so out of your vacuum space comes infinite universes. So as we drop a little deeper into the 0 point, into the Kurma chakra, into the spaciousness of the heart, relaxes the brain. We need that, right? Life is stressful. Beautiful breath. It's like feeling the undercurrent of awe. It really is a kind of a river, right? It's the expansion release. And then there's the contraction wave. And then there's the release again, right? So all these pulsations are happening. Which wave do you want to catch? The breath wave is maybe the most powerful one under our control. So as we breathe and smoothen the breath, the mind takes a back seat and relaxes. Then in this retrograde time, right, Uranus retrograde, Mercury retrograde, the full moon energies that probably last about 2 weeks actually, especially the supermoon, sort of pushing us like a great, what is it those storms do? The swell that comes in, right? The 15-foot surge from the ocean, right? These lunar frequencies, this full moon power. It's just like, so you might find that things that you thought in this sort of Virgo season would all come together. There's still a delay going on. Maybe it's payments, not getting paid when you should be. Something you were expecting to happen soon, now give it another week or two. It's like the storm is big, right? It's a cleanse. What are these storms? They're kind of like electromagnetic cleansers that come in when the consciousness gets too rigid and stuck and blocked, and It's like, leave it up to Mother Nature to come in and transmute it all into different frequencies and stir it all up and to reorganize it. So chaos has its function. So within the apparent chaos of our being, which is, when you get down to the quantum physics of it, it's not actually chaos, right? It's another form of order. It's just a transitional state usually. You go from one form of order to the next, one story to the next, one apartment to the next, right, Sandra? One house to the next. So let's help Sandra out, call in her beautiful abode, wherever the universe wants her to live. Blessings to you. Just like imagining what you want, and this is for everyone. If there's something you want, start cooking it up. All right, universe is a wish-fulfilling tree. It's gonna come around. I was just writing something about that. I like to write these little ditties. The world is a great wish, served on a great dish. A wish-fulfilling tree, there for you and me. We could be on a spiritual journey or on a spiritual trip. Which one has you in its grip? Tales are made of details. Life is a hint of the eternal. Right, we've got this sort of the earthly happiness of the Epicureans and the sense pleasures of the Islamic paradise, and so the Christian eternal life, right? All of these choices are available. Which do you want to focus on? I would advocate all of them now, right? So that your sense pleasures are bringing you the joy of spanda, right? Nothing wrong with sense pleasures ultimately, unless they hijack your brain and take you away from the inside out software. But if our play of consciousness is smooth enough, then sure, why not? Indulge, it's all God. But just keeping it all in balance. That's what I love about music and drones. The hemispheres integrate. Like we said, that flow state of integration sets in, kicks in. When you're in the love, everything is just amazing. Amaji said love is not an emotion. Right? Different spiritual teachers teach this, right? That love is something way more profound than just another emotion. It's basically flow itself. I like that. Jedi technology. Beautiful deep in-breath. Beautiful peaceful feeling. There's exercises that voice teachers teach singers, which is to take the sound and kind of vibrate into it, right? Work it into your jaw, work it into your brain. Different ways to shape the sounds so that it's like the cavities of the brain all resonate. Like if you're filled with mucus and you feel clogged, right? Singing can clear you, right? Start doing Om vibrations, and just literally vibrates the nitrous oxide back into place, and your sinuses kind of clean themselves up. Because if they're clogged, if you're feeling like maybe there's histamine issues, or you're just allergic to something, try this thought. It's people in your face. Why else would we feel like right? So if we think in those terms, who is in your face? Or why are you letting this person be in your face? Or what's the deal with the space, right? The boundaries, the borders, the peripheries. Right? Full moon in Pisces might make these things a little vague, right? This big watery, like, it's like big storm coming into town. So say for the actual event, maybe not a lot of boundaries and borders. Right? Explosive material. But once things settle back into place, the next rhythm cycle kicks in. You gather yourself up into the 51% platform, I like to call it, right, where you're wisely selfish. It's like the Dalai Lama's teaching to do that, right? Be wisely selfish so you can give away 49%, or whatever you need to do. Just make sure that your basis is strong. Alright? Solid. I was watching some of the US Open, and some of these folks are so grounded. It's an incredible thing to watch super athletes. Right? I know Gurma used to talk about that. Like, come on, you guys, how come you can't be like these Olympic people? Why are you so lazy? You know, like, what's the deal with, like, why aren't you becoming a master, right? Why aren't you making that supreme effort? Like, what are you waiting for? So, athletes, it's more of an external thing, right? It might not be completely the internal attainment, and yet it is, right? Tennis, for sure. Right? It's totally a psychological game. So this inside-out fortitude and power. And I think that the tendency is that we believe we have to obtain these things. We're going to get it from the job, we're going to get it from being famous, or we're going to get it from this or that, and it's like not. It's like, it's right there in the vacuum space, whatever we want, right? It's just, you don't have to drive downtown. You don't have to fly somewhere else. So, we know this, right? Just feeling it. The pressure and the vacuum all comes to balance. Like the perfect equilibration. So as we sit in the vacuum space, it's like infinite possibility arises. And if it doesn't feel like that, you're probably not in the vacuum space yet. Right? You're still in the mind, still caught up in brain activities. It's all brain activity, but it can be really quiet too, right? And then you just get the download. It's like Mozart, right? Just hears the sonata perfectly. There it is. Right? But if we're listening to too much, signal to noise ratio is high, right? You can't find that place. So we breathe. Peace, beautiful peace. The surrender that's required for that. Not blaming anyone else for our situation. That tendency, it's like guaranteed to mess you up. Right? Then you think it's somebody else's fault, or you want it to be, and right, we don't own it. It's at least 50% us, whatever it is, right? Any interaction, any relationship. And so the self-distancing to get out of the way. Pure I amness. And I know when I say, we're taking responsibility, don't forget though that there's 95% of us is unconscious, subconscious, that might have another agenda, right? Still processing something from the past. So this is a good time, this Pisces moon, full moon, to it's like allow what's repressed, suppressed, compressed, that's been hiding in there underneath. It's like retrograde Uranus, retrograde Mercury allows us to access this, right? It's just like uncover the rock. And there's all of this stuff. And we can process it, release it, because in part it's ancestral, it's cultural, it's other people's minds. They get in there. So let's blaze out. We got a few more minutes. We're gonna blaze out with, it's like expandoplex Shakti field, pushing everything at least 20 feet away. Super powered field, right? So you're like a nuclear power plant of love. And then anyone coming to your proximity gets the effect. It's like, whoa. Wow, right? They feel the expansion, they feel the bliss, they feel the love, they feel the resonance. Just letting God flow through the supreme I am consciousness. We could get tired of talking about the supreme I am consciousness, but for whatever reason, I never do. It's always like more amazing each time when you contemplate it, right? We're just that much more adept at going, wow, right? Let the miracle unfold. So we breathe, beautiful oxygenation of the brain. If that's too low. Sadhguru Nath Maharaj Ki Jai. Namaste. Have a beautiful day. Thank you for coming this way and sharing in this expansion. Okie dokie.